She sent me a videotape which got lost, and so I got back in touch with her. She sent me another one. I watched it for about 2 minutes and couldn't get on the phone quickly enough to call her and offer her a spot and a small scholarship. And she accepted, which was delightful for me. She was one of the toughest players we've ever had. She had blazing speed, but on that video I saw she put a tackle in on a player. The girl went sailing into the air. I think she's probably still flying around somewhere in Maryland looking for somewhere to land. It was just a crunching tackle, clean as a whistle. And she put a few of those in down the years. But she wasn't just a strong tackler and a fast player. She had a really good soccer brain and could go forward with the ball and set up counterattacks. Just an overall a joy to coach. One of my favorite memories was that she used to giggle during a warm-up, and one day I was a bit tense, unusually for me, before a game, and I kind of pulled her up about it, and she just said, hey, this is my way of preparing. I'm all right. When that whistle blows, I'm going to be putting all the effort in you need. I thought, okay, and I backed off and learned a lesson that I've tried to implement every day since. UNC was national champion at the time, and we played them at Wags. It was the 5th game we had played over 2.5 days, and Megan and Sandra at the back and Amy McDowell in goal were really tested. We also had Jill Ellis on the field that day, and it came down to overtime, and then it went to PKs, penalty kicks. And the last penalty kick, they had missed one and made their others. We made all of ours. And the 5th one came down to Sandra. And cool as a cucumber, she struck the ball into the net, and we defeated the national champions. Sandra, many congratulations on joining the William & Mary Athletic Hall of Fame. Richly deserved.
So unlike the other 3 inductees before me, I don't have a cheat sheet. And I'm older than all of you. So I might forget a few things. You'll have to bear with me. And my talk is going to be a little different. I want to tell you a little story about why it's a miracle that I'm up here. And Dwight sort of alluded to a little bit of this. I'm a defender. There are no statistics in soccer for defenders. So there's nothing to put on that little board, really. But that's not the real reason it's a miracle. I didn't start playing soccer until I was about 10, but now I hear Claire didn't start playing field hockey until 8th grade. But most people these days, I believe, start in utero. So that was definitely not me. I lived in England as a little girl, and you'd think that for soccer that would be something really great. But in the 70s, girls didn't play very much. And I asked to play on the boys' team and wasn't allowed just because of my gender. And for those of you that know me, I don't like to be told what I can't do, especially if it doesn't make any sense. And at the time, I was faster than all those boys, so it really didn't make sense to me why I couldn't play. And at that point, I decided that I was going to prove to the British that girls could do anything. Well, really, that this girl could do anything that a boy could do. But then I came back to the States, and the first way I decided to prove that was by getting out on the soccer field in corduroys and cleats. So my fashion sense and soccer skills didn't really benefit from that. Fortunately, over the years, coaches had the uniforms picked out, so I didn't have to choose my wardrobe, so I played in much more appropriate attire. But none of my teams were that great. Back then, women's soccer was big, but it was just beginning. So I knew more about soccer than my high school coach, which doesn't say much. So needless to say, when I was a senior and it was April and I still hadn't decided where I was going to go to school, it really wasn't that big of a shock to me. I guess I kind of didn't really know. In the back of my mind, I thought I was going to prove to the British by being an Olympic athlete. That didn't happen, but I did end up getting recruited at William & Mary because my good friend and teammate, Laura Absalom Gilly, her father was a coach in the same hometown that I grew up in, and he called JD and said, "You need to recruit this girl. You'll regret it if you don't." And I'm so grateful, Laura, that you have a father that coached who saw me play, and JD, that you listened to him. And for those of you who are younger than me, which is everybody except for Ford, you're welcome wherever you are. We had VHS tapes, and like JD said in the video, mine got lost in the mail. But he still came to recruit me, and he recruited me despite the fact that I ran off the field in the middle of that first game for no apparent reason. But I think I had been a little nervous the night before and had eaten a bunch of peanut chocolate M&Ms. Kind of had to go to the bathroom. I'm really grateful to have come to William & Mary. It was a dream, and to be honored here at this time, I appreciate, and like a few people have said, I'm humbled to be in the audience with so many really qualified inductees. So thank you, JD, thank you, Laura, and thanks to my parents who are also here. And thank you to the induction committee for thinking that I deserved this honor. And I'm going to come full circle. I was just in Europe visiting some friends, and I didn't take any soccer equipment because I was planning to just be on vacation. And their 8-year-old little boy wanted to go to the soccer cage that they have in their town, a little turf field in their town, to play. So once again, I didn't have a coach, so I put on my tights and my pink shirt and my hiking shoes and played soccer. But this nomination helped me to not feel like I had to prove myself anymore, so I didn't take out the little 4-year-old boy that I was playing against. Thank you.